Hello! How are you doing? This is part 2 of the reading. So, yeah, let's get started with it. For a nice cocker spaniel that would solve all my problems, I would walk with him and feed him all my problems. I did walk with him and feed him and play with him. He could even sleep on the edge of my bed. But of course, that was wishful thinking. My brother is here to stay, and there's nothing much I can do about it. Grandma came over with a million ideas about getting fudge to eat. She tricked him making milkshakes in the blender when Fudge wasn't looking. She threw an egg. Then she told him if he drank it all up, would be a surprise in the bottom of the glass. The first time he believed her, he finished his milkshake, but all he saw was an empty glass. There wasn't any surprise. Oh my God, he got so mad he threw the glass down. It smashed into little pieces. After that, Grandma left. The next day, my mother dragged Fudge to the Dr. Clone's office. He told her to leave him alone, that Fudge would eat when he got hungry. I reminded my mother that I told her the same thing, but for free. But I guess my mother didn't believe either one of us. She took Fudge to see the doctors. None of them could find a thing wrong with my brother. One doctor even suggested my mother should cook Fudge's favourite food. Was So that night, my mother grilled lamb chops just for Fudge. The rest of us ate stew. She served him the 2 little lamb chops on his plate under the table. Just the smell of them was making my stomach growl. I thought it was mean of my mother to make them for Fudge and not for me. Fudge looked at his lamb chops for a few times, for a few minutes. Then he pushed his plate away. No, he said. No chops, Fudge. You will starve, cried my mother. You must eat. No chops, cornflakes, Fudge said. Once cornflakes, my mother ran to the cereal for Fudge. You can eat the chops if you want them, Peter, she told me. I reached down and helped myself to the lamb chops, and my mother had Fudge's bowl of cereal, but he didn't eat it. He sat at my feet and looked up at me. He watched me eat his chops. Eat your cereal, my father said. No, eat cereal! Fudge yelled. My father was really mad. His face turned bright red. He said, "Fudge, you will eat that cereal or you will wear it." That means he's gonna spill it. Where was I? This was turning out to be fun after all. I thought, and the lamb chops were really tasty. I dipped a bone in some ketchup chewed away. Fudge messed around with his cereal for a minute. Messed around his cereal for a... No, I just said that part, didn't I? Then he looked at my father and said, "No, eat! No, eat!" My father whipped his mouth with his napkin and pushed back his chair and got up from the table. He picked up the bowl of cereal in one hand and fudge in the other. He carried them both into the bathroom. I went along nibbling a bone to see what was going on. My father stood Fudge in the bath and dumped his whole cereal right over his head. "Oh dear!" Fudge screamed. He sure can scream loud. My father wanted me to go back to the kitchen. He joined us in a minute. We sat down and finished our dinner. Fudge kept on screaming. My mother wanted him to go to his father, but my father told her to stay where she was. He'd had enough of Fudge's monkey business at meal times. I think my mother was really reserved that my father had taken over. For once, my brother got what he deserved, and I was glad. The next day, Fudge sat at the table again in his little red high chair. Where he belongs. He ate everything my mother put in front of him. No more doggy, he told us, and for a long time after that, his favourite was expression, "Eat it or wear it." So, let me just mark the page, because that's what I do all the time now. Let me see here. Right, I think I'm just going to mark it on this page so we can pick up the story, because look, we've done having fun, and we did the Christmas list, the family dog. That's what we did. So, how do you like that? Like and subscribe if you like that. If you're new, like. And if you're not new, like the video. And see you next time. Bye. This book is called The Naughty Story. Even Naughtier Stories. Not a sponsor. Stop.